Their order is just... I wish they could be a bit more considerate. Why don't you try freshening up with a shower? Tomorrow seemed to react negatively to overstimulation. This is likely just a defensive mechanism, so to speak. A way to safeguard her mind from the strange and unfamiliar. At times like these, it's best to limit the number of people attempting to help the distressed individual. So let's trust in Rainy and Fragile to take care of her.
Sam, by linking up the various sites farther to the north, you'll eventually be able to establish a connection to Hartman's facility. In short, it's time to tackle the northern part of the continent. Start by bringing the F2 South Distribution Center into the network. Some of the staff there are former residents of Cape Fort Knott who managed to escape the city before it was swallowed up by the tar. In addition to overseeing distribution operations, they also protect the facility from would-be assailants. Unfortunately, local chiral contamination levels are extremely high, leading to disturbing reports of paranormal phenomena near the facility. The cargo you're tasked with delivering should aid staff in dealing with this issue. Accept the main order from this delivery terminal to proceed.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized. This cargo has been designated Do Not Submerge.
Order accepted. Thank you. Counting on you.
legs.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Process your oversight request. Chiral decontamination in progress. No anomalies detected. Welcome, Sam.
Drawbridge, I presume. Yeah, you seem like a genuine article. Welcome. Hope it wasn't too hard to track. I'll just need a moment to check your cargo. It's a little scuffed up, but nothing major. Good enough for our needs. You have been making a real difference. All right. Go ahead and put us on the chiral network.
Now displaying your current order grade.
So we've been linked up, at last. There's also the necrobiotes you brought us as well. Feels like we finally turned a corner.
For our part, we've shared data for some custom vehicle components, as well as some sturdy combat boots. I'm sure the vehicle parts in particular will come in handy for combat and cargo retrieval. You need all the help you can get, because those armed survivalists waiting for you out east are far more dangerous foes than the brigands. They're a bunch of fools who won't hesitate to kill people, with no shortage of lethal weaponry. Though I'll be damned if I know where they got it. Make sure you're prepared before you head their way. Speaking of which, those combat boots ought to add some serious power to your kicks. You might want to equip a pair if you intend on getting up close and personal. Some people have called me that. A while back, we had a situation with this group that went around looting whatever supplies they felt like. And I was the boxing champ who went up against these guys and sent them all packing with nothing but his bare fists. That's the story they tell, but it sure as hell ain't the truth. I didn't charge gallantly into battle and beat the shit out of them. I approached them in peace so we could work it out. I asked why they were stealing from other people, and they said it was because they didn't have the skills to live any other way. So I taught them other ways to survive, trained them a bit. Nothing more than that, really. In the end, all we had to do was talk to each other. They weren't like the other riffraff you find around here. And they're still here. In fact, working in this facility. If anyone around here deserves to be called a hero, it's you, Sam. I mean, you're the one trekking across Australia trying to bring everyone together. Anyway, right now, we're trying to develop equipment tailored to close combat specialists. If we succeed, anyone will be capable of fighting as well as these so-called Golden Fist. Feel free to lend a hand if our project interests you. They're not something just anyone should be messing with. Their affinity with the dead makes them dangerous. To prevent the dead from attacking us. With that kind of power at our disposal, we can put people's minds at ease. Could solve all kinds of problems, I'm sure. Thanks again. We're glad to have you in our corner. With your support, we'll be able to do so much more for others. Stay strong and keep doing your thing. We're in this fight together.
Sam, you're the best. Now get yourself back to the DHV Magellan and take a load off. Just so you know, tomorrow's been doing much better. Pay her a visit when you can, okay?
Order completed. Well done.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
Don't worry, you got this.
Right.
This one's for you. Thank you, kindly.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated.
Just a little longer, okay? Raindrops are falling on my head. And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. You know this song? So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know. The blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Okay.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red.
Necrobiotes are fascinating, and they seem to have become more commonplace lately as well, ever since you and I were swallowed up by that tarfall, to be specific. This sudden increase in the population should be considered yet another example of an environmental anomaly. If we successfully extend the network across the continent and trigger a plate gate to appear, such anomalies should begin to wane.
So you made it out okay. Those tremors were intense, but we're doing fine here. I think West Fort Knott got the worst of it, though. Your cargo has already been prepared. If you could deliver it to West Fort Knott as quickly as you can, that'd be great. We need to support each other at times like these, so pick up the priority order from the delivery terminal right away. I'm counting on you, Sam.
creation. Delivery route finalized. Commencing route creation.
that one.
So I shut the door and leave for a glass of white champagne. Pour it on the TV screen.
Are you injured, Sam?
Put your dresses in a row.
Now leaving viral network coverage.
In a city I don't know. In a city I don't know.
That's the way.
Wowzer!
Don't rely on famous men. Rising, coming down. Let me lie on Dallas Bay.
snag it.
But you still put up a fight. Well, I know you. So shut the door and
Sam, I'm so glad to see you again. We just got hit by a massive quake. I was afraid you might have got hurt out there, or worse. Anyway, I'll check your cargo. Oh, handled with care, I see. Looks as good as new. It's like a dream come true, this showing up on our doorstep. We'd written it off, but you made our day. It feels as though we're always leaning on you for support. Please allow us to return the favor with this data. Just wanted to let you know that we're increasing the amount of materials you can withdraw.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Thank you so much. We should be able to get our chiral printer in working order now. I've never felt tremors like that before, not even when the tar currents were acting up. It makes me pretty concerned about other folks living nearby. But at least the monorail you patched up seems to be none the worse for wear. Hey, out of curiosity, have you restored any of the other large mines? They'd be a great source of materials if you were ever in need. There are a few large mines in the northern part of the continent, not far from where you'll find North Fort Knot. Or where you used to be able to find it, I should say, before it was wiped off the map by a void out. As for the mines, no one knows if they were obliterated too. But if you happen to be headed that way, you might want to see if they're still around. Are you familiar with the island that lies north of our facility here at West Fort Knot? Well, there's a shelter on that island. The man who lives there only cares about his research and never talks to anyone. But I can't help worrying that he might have been hurt during the tremors. You've been such a big help to us. Rest assured, our staff will see that everyone gets their share of the aid packages you delivered. A lot of people are going to be singing your praises before too long. Best of luck to you with everything.
Everything there seems to be in order. But one cannot help but wonder what other facilities were affected. Anyway, you can pick up your next order from the F2 South Distribution Center. This one's a rescue mission, Sam. Someone's been taken hostage by the armed survivalists, and we need you to extract them to safety. The survivalists have been known to kill people, so you'll want to take extra care when preparing for this one. Oh, and it seems the tar currents have finally stabilized. So the D3 Magellan should be able to travel without issue. Call us if you need us. All right, Sam. Good luck.
Order completed. Well... Done.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery...
Hey, Sam. Charlie here. This order is a hostage rescue operation. The target for extraction is this man. He was conducting a search in a mining region when communications abruptly ceased. He went there at the behest of the Dowser, who resides at the next facility you need to link up. Take heed that the mine in question is currently under the control of the armed survivalists, a faction whose members have no reservations about using lethal force and should be considered a serious threat. To make matters worse, some of them have been observed wearing armor as well as active skeletons. Such enemies will possess increased mobility and defensive capabilities. It would therefore be prudent to bring equipment to counter these advantages. There's no telling how much longer they'll keep the hostage alive. Moreover, saving him may help us to pursue future objectives in this region and beyond. Regardless, this is a matter of life and death for the Dowser's friend. Give your preparations all due consideration. He's counting on you, Sam.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.